guys, Casual Game Guys. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new Link Joker Messiah subclan that we get with Generation Booster 3. And this is just to help you guys get settled in before the set actually hits. And some of you may or may not be blindsided, although, let's face it, we're all looking at the spoilers, right? So before I get into the actual deck list, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my friend Charlie for sharing this deck list with me, because initially I was hating on him and he brought me around after tossing everyone around with seriously the cream of the crop of each deck. Everyone was playing proxies one day and he just tossed everyone around with them. So thanks, Charlie, you're awesome. Now, looking at our grade 0 lineup, we're starting with Neon Messiah as our starter. He's got a Gen Break 1 skill that you can put him into the soul when one of your units is unlocked, search for a grade 3 Messiah, and then add it to your hand from your deck. Now this is going to be especially useful later on in the list when you need to grab your Alter Ego Messiah, but more on that later. You'll also notice that we are still running the standard 6 to 8 draw triggers in our list, because what would a Link Joker be without that draw support? While this still is a faster build, you're still going to be very conservative with your resources. You're not going to put too much down at once, and you're still going to want to have as big a hand as possible. So running these draw triggers, while yes, you will have smaller guarding and you will have to give up more cards to guard with, it's still the same in the long run as having to guard with just as many cards in the late game. So, looking at our grade 1 lineup, we start out with Destiny Dealer, and he is your +2 grade to stride. So when you want to stride, you can discard him as a grade 3 instead of, dropping a 1 and a 2 or dropping one of your useful grade 3s. This is pretty much a filler card for the deck so that you don't have to use up any of your other resources, just like other grade 2 pluses. But it also has another skill where you can reveal a grade 3 from your hand when you put it on rear guard and then search for a grade 3 Messiah. All in all, it's not a bad card and it combos well off of Neon Messiah. Next up, we're looking at Flower Blooming in the Vacuum, Cosmolis. But Cosmolis is your perfect guard on flipper, so if you've got another Cosmolis in the drop zone, you can unflip 1 point of damage. Next up, we're looking at White Dwarf Lady Battler, who is a promo, and I'm hoping that we get as a box topper. But White Dwarf Lady Battler, when you're boosting a unit, you can unlock one of your locked units and then give the unit you're boosting an additional 4,000 power, which is going to come in handy really, really well later on in the deck list. Next up, we're looking at Sunset Edge Duskblade, and he's got a Gen Break 1 skill. You can counterblast 1 when it attacks, a Vanguard, and then lock one of your opponent's grade 2s. This is starting to feel, at this point, more and more like the Link Joker that we met way back when in the original Vanguard arc. But it also serves to help your Vanguards get pretty nice power bonuses when you finally get into the late game. For our next grade 2, we're looking at Awakening Messiah. On a Gen Break 1 skill, when it's unlocked, you can stand one of your rear guards and then give it plus 2,000 power. Let's see, and then we're looking at Gravity Well Lady Battler. And then what Gravity Well does is once per turn, you can lock one of your own rear guards. Now pairing her off of the aforementioned White Dwarf Lady Battler, you're looking at a pretty nice 4K, plus 4K on pretty much any column. And if you put White Dwarf behind Gravity Well Lady Battler, you're going to have a pretty nice sized column. Going into our grade 3 lineup, we have Alter Ego Messiah, of course, and then Star Cradle Stellar Maker. Now, starting off with Alter Ego Messiah, its Gen Break 2 skill allows you to Soul Blast 1 when any card is unlocked, and then you get to draw 1 card. Now, taking into account that Link Joker is still an incredibly conservative deck style, drawing that extra card on a single Soul Blast is actually really helpful. You're not giving up any of your counter blasts, and you're not giving up any units on the field or in your hand in order to draw this extra card. In the past, we've seen Link Joker cards that are drop draws, and it just doesn't really mesh well with the way the deck works itself. It does have another skill that you can counter blast 1, lock 1 of your own rear guards when you stride, and then you can lock 1 of your opponent's rear guards, and then the Vanguard gets 2,000 power additional. Looking at Stellar Cradle, it's got a Gen Break 1 skill. When attacking the Vanguard, you can unlock up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards, and then your Vanguard receives a 2,000 power bonus and then a single crit. Its Counter Blast 1 skill, Soul Blast 1 skill. When you ride it, you can lock one unit in your opponent's back row. Now, looking at our grade 4s, this is where things start to get pretty tricky. You've got 2 boss monsters as your stride units, and they're both Messiah cards. One of them available in the structure deck, the other not. And starting with Genesis Dragon. When it hits a Vanguard, you can lock 1 of your opponent's back row cards and then unlock 1 of your own rear guard cards. Again, this works really well off of Gravity Well Lady Battler, and it still works pretty nicely in conjunction with White Dwarf Lady Battler, even though you're still not getting that same locking chain. What'll happen is Genesis will lock a unit, and then you'll get to unlock 1 of your units. Let's say you've got a grade 2 that you locked, and then you've got a grade 1 that you've locked. Well, now you've got another column with a Gravity Well Lady Battler and a White Dwarf Lady Battler. Well, now that Genesis Dragon has unlocked 1 of those units, White Dwarf Lady Battler will unlock another unit, and that whole column will gain a +4 power just because you strode with Genesis Dragon. Next up, we're taking a look at Amnesty Messiah, Genesis Dragon Amnesty Messiah. So on a Counter Blast 1, when it attacks a Vanguard, you can lock any units, any number of units, and then your Vanguard receives 3,000 power for each unit. So let's say if both players have an entire field of locked rear guards, that's 30,000 power going to your Vanguard on top of an already 26 plus attack column. And then if 3 or more of those units are in your side of the field, it's gaining an extra critical. Now, I don't have any suggestions for you this time around because, quite frankly, there are way too many options. So, at this point, I'm just going to point out that there is a lot of room to work with. There's a lot of flexibility with these new Link Joker cards. And should you decide to play this clan, should you decide to play this particular sub-clan, you're going to be in for a treat. It is faster than Nebula Dragon. It is got more power behind it, more potential power behind it than Schwarzschild Dragon, and it could possibly do more damage than Blaster Joker. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this deck list video, and I hope you guys will keep on watching. So until next time, this is the Casual Game Guy. Have a good one.